Hello, it's Muccino. So I'm sitting here, I got a couple things on my mind, and that one thing I have on my mind is the Boot and Saddle Show, March 28th. The River City Extension is playing in Philly. It got me thinking about what it means to play at a boot and saddle, to be a boot and saddle. I mean, say you step into a Goodwill, you're on the hunt for some new kicks. This boot over here looks great, durable, you're cheap. But where's the match? Maybe he would have taken it home if he knew about everything it had to offer. Stories upon stories going way back to his youth in Nashville, early memories from the mud of infancy to the dirt of professional life. Hugging an ankle for the very first time, or his brother being taken away to a police evidence locker after his owner lost it on a local shop owner who had just run out of pomegranates. But you couldn't have been expected to know all that, so you find a pair of mocks that suit you just as well. You weren't going for function, you were just in a shoe buying mood. And you take your mocks and your brand new, decades-old 3D viewfinder with two smudgy yellowed slides of the Grand Canyon to your local haunt for a celebratory trip. You haven't had much to do this winter. Behind the bar is a saddle that's been mounted and converted to a shelf for gin and whiskey. It's the top kind. Waterloo and tonic is your request as you mull over every inference and implication and context and subtext and everything your blind date said to you last night. Actually, can you make it neat? Keep it open. You're tired of that feeling and of moving around, but you could have bought a round for the saddle and he would have told you about growing up in Denton, his heyday in the rodeo, fame and regular maintenance, until his rider died in competition, something that saddle would never forgive himself for if he just held on a little tighter. He'd tell you about his downward spiral on the mechanical bull circuit, nearly drinking himself to death with glove oil and neat's foot. But the guy who owned the mechanical bull went for broke and sold the thing for parts, so Saddle ends up here as a kitschy piece of theme-specific regional flair. But he'll have to keep that story to himself, like every day before this one. You're there for all of a half hour, walking home just as it starts to snow. And line makes up a story to pair the unpaired boot with the hung saddle in the form of a dramatic scene at the end of a movie, where the bar owner's one-legged 8-year-old son gets up to ride a horse for the first time. He sold the bar about a year ago now to pay for the surgeries after his son's accident, but all is well now, and he finds the saddle collecting dust in the garage up on the top shelf, and finds one solitary cowboy boot at a Goodwill and suits up his son for the pasture. The boot and saddle share the rest of what they remember with each other. So what I mean to say is that River City Extension will be playing at the Boot and Saddle in Philadelphia on Friday, March 28th with our dear friends Cranston Dean and Wild Rompin. Happy spring is almost here. Come on.